Hi, and thank you for tuning in to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. This week, we've been talking about I am statements of Jesus. It's been so interesting to look a little deeper into who Jesus claimed to be and what he's proven in our own lives, right? As we've talked about him being a shepherd, as we've talked about him being the light of the world or the bread of life. Have you been thinking about how that's played out in your life as you've experienced salvation? As you have experienced his guidance, as you've experienced that as you follow after him, he guides your path by his light. Well, today I want to read a verse to you that's probably pretty familiar. Pastor Neville actually talked about this for a couple months throughout the summer as we did a series called Desire. We talked about the fruit of the Spirit and how those things are produced in our lives. And I'm pretty sure he referenced this verse several times, but I'm going to read it to you again because it actually is one of those I am statements that Jesus made. It's found in John chapter 15, verse 5, and it says, I am the vine. You are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. You see, this is so challenging. It's talking about that discipleship relationship that we formulate with God through his Holy Spirit. You see, salvation in Jesus Christ is the starting point. Yes, you now have been reconciled with God, but unfortunately, so many people think that the relationship begins and ends right there. Hey, checkbox, I'm good, I know God, going to heaven, Jesus paid for my sins. Awesome. And you know what, if you stop there, you're selling yourself short about the joy of walking with Christ in this world, of knowing Jesus personally, of being used by him and bearing fruit to bring glory to his name. That's what he's called us to be, not just to believe, but to become followers of Christ. And so this verse is reminding us that Jesus is the source. He's that vine that branches grow off of. When we're connected to him, when we're looking to him for our strength and the source of truth and life in our lives, we bear fruit. Remember what those are: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, right in Galatians 5. But when we're not connected to the vine, when we begin to think again, you know what, I got this guy. I'm good, I'm going to do this on my own. Or we give into a sinful desire and we worry more about self-gratification than God glorifying. You know, it's so easy. I want to go up a little bit, and this is a little off course. I'm a little rebellious, I guess. And I want to talk about who God is. Jesus not only said, I am the vine, but he also tells us a little bit about God. If you go up in chapter 15 to verse 1, Jesus again says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. Isn't it incredible the humility of Jesus himself, who was fully God, and yet he had such a respect and knowing his place when he was in human form here on earth? He describes what a gardener does. In verse 2, he says, God, he cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. What a beautiful picture. We stay connected to Jesus, our source of life, so that we stay on the right course. And yet God, through the power of the Holy Spirit, he'll continue to grow and develop things in our life, helping those things to flourish that are of him and cutting those things off that are not. Have you allowed Jesus to be the vine, and are you staying connected as a branch? Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for another Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.